Everybody say yeah as we welcome to our podcast, reigning all the way from Miami, Florida, the one and only LeJuan Love. Let's go.
Welcome to another episode of It's Not Hard to Talk About. And we are so excited that you guys have been logging on and subscribing. We have about 14 episodes that we have pre-recorded, and this one in particular is so very special to me because, as you can see, we have the one and only LeJuan Love. You guys have no idea what it took for me to make this moment happen.
Yeah.
It's just been years coming, and he is here now with us, and I am so grateful to have you on. What's up, LeJuan?
What's happening? How y'all doing? What's going on?
Listen, I am so excited. I've been anticipating this moment for a very long time. How are you?
I'm gonna work my way through it. You know how I am about this. So yeah.
Absolutely. So I appreciate every moment, and we're going to honor your time. So thank you so much. Everyone knows who LeJuan Love is if they grew up in Miami, Florida. And, you can go ahead and introduce to some people who, may not be familiar with LeJuan Love. So I don't know if you kind of want to tell us what's the difference between LeJuan Love and LeJuan Biggers, but you have the floor.
Okay. I just want to thank you for providing the platform and the opportunity. I appreciate it. And we can get right into it. It's not a whole lot to me. At least I don't think so. I consider LeJuan Love as, the artist, and LeJuan Biggers would be the individual, the scientist. It comes down to art and science. So from a perspective of LeJuan Love, that name was provided to me by some of my guys in the music industry. They came up with it, and I was provided with an opportunity. And then, LeJuan Biggers, hey, you know a little about me. My last name Biggers. Yeah, my last name Biggers. Ain't nothing little about me. But no, it's just a stage name. You go into artist mode, you entertain, and with your family name, you represent it in the best way possible. So just be the best individual you can be as you represent your family and the people that.
Well, there's so much to cover. We want to focus on three aspects, and of course, you can add as many aspects as you like. The floor is definitely yours. So we want to talk a little bit about the music industry. We want to talk about artist development and poetry, because I know that those are three areas that we can kind of, minimize for now. So we're going to start with the music industry. How old were you when you came on the scene? Who discovered you? What was that like, being a young celebrity in the music industry?
Well, it was new, but a lot of things at that time in life were new. I was about 11, 12 years old when I engaged into the music industry. I heard rap before, but when I hit about 10, 11, I made a decision. I was like, hey, I want to be a rapper. 2 years later, I'm in the industry. But it was a blessing. It was an opportunity, being in the right space at the right time, but also being prepared to capitalize, or I don't want to say take advantage, but take advantage of the situation, or to capitalize on the situation or the opportunity that presented itself. I was ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't roll out of bed and just fall into the rap industry. I went and got my own record deal by going into the industry, and it was just an hour every day. After school, I would go hang out with True Live Crew. I'm sitting on the couch when a lot of that music was made. When Chris came up with an idea, Luke came up with an idea, or Marquise or Hobbs, I was there for the whole thing. And I showed up every day. I met some kids in junior high school. Actually, it was Cedric Smith lived next door, and he introduced me to Two Live Crew, and the rest is history. I don't want to take you down a long road, but the rest is history. Yeah. So that's how I got in. To put it simply, I got in the music industry, showing up every day, at least an hour every day. And that's the code, an hour a day.
And I know that the music industry has changed. And what was that, the 80s?
Oh, that was that was late 80s, 88, 87, 88. I think when when the world heard everybody say yeah, it was about 89. But it was work done before then, and here we are.
So was Everybody Say Yeah, and what was the name of the other one that was popular, or is Everybody Say Yeah the most popular one?
Most popular. I did an album. The single was Everybody Say Yeah, and then I did my hardcore rhymes. And then after that, there was the A side and the B side of that, the songs at the time. So, I was 12, so Mr. Mix thought it might be a good idea to take Fingertips when Stevie Wonder was 12. And so the Everybody Say Yeah is, a clip from Fingertips when Stevie Wonder was performing live at the Apollo.
Right.
As the relationships and, business would have it, there were some people that, made some arrangements for me to meet Stevie Wonder. Betty Wright, Michael Sterling, Luke, a couple other, people that, paved the way for it to be a LeJuan Love. There were people before me or people before us. I don't want to just say me because it's not just me. It takes a village. So it was Everybody Say Yeah, my hardcore rhymes. And I originally wrote my hardcore rhymes. I would freestyle. I started writing. I didn't write, but I started writing. It was thought better that I should put it on paper. But I lost the original hardcore rhymes. I lost the original verse. So that I go in, I'm in the studio. I'm reaching for the bag, going to my book bag. It's not there in my notebook. It's nowhere to be found. So now I got to rewrite it. It's the stories, they go on, man. But it was Everybody Say Yeah.
You had to rewrite it, and so you came up with a whole other verse as a result?
Well, I found like maybe the last verse, most of that I had on cap, because I would freestyle all the time. So, but the first verse, I had to rewrite it. The first verse, maybe the second and the third, I had those on cap because, that was our thing in high school. Nevertheless, being an artist, you come up with it, you move. When it's time to go, you go. Stay ready.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah, Crunch One. Shouts out to DJ Crunch One.
Yeah.
Gucci Crew. Shouts out to Gucci Crew, man.
Shouts out to Gucci Crew. Absolutely.
Yeah, dudes paved the way too, so.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially around that time, he did.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're talking about the 80s, 90s, 2000s, the music industry has definitely changed. The sound itself has changed. We grew up on, all of us, especially in Miami, we grew up listening to JT Money and Two Live Crew and Luke and all of that. And, Slick Rick and, all of these different artists. And there was a sound that came with it, a certain level of creativity. How do you think the music industry has changed from the 80s all the way up until now?
Oh my gosh, I don't see. It's like a flip flop bowling ball paint job. It's in changed colors. Man, it's 15 feet.
Oh yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, it's developed a great deal. And initially, like in the early 2000s, there was in the early 90s there was a shift in the rap industry. Period, when it came to rap. But as we progress from, wow, I could go back decades. That's crazy. But it's changed a great deal. I'll say that. And what it's come to is with the technology, just to bring everybody up to speed where we are today,
right?
Where we came from. The technology is always a key factor on what's on the table in any industry. So for a minute, I saw a blank space, a timeout, so to speak. It's like buying time to see what was going to develop as you change the formats you record on, the new technology going from, albums to CDs, from CDs to flash drives, from flash drives to downloads, from downloads to, we're at downloads right now, or streaming. We call it streaming now. So there's like 3-4 different transitions along with the things that happen in the music industry and with the artists and the development of the artists, the intelligence of the artists. A lot has changed.
A lot.
We're in a good spot right now. We're in a very, very beautiful spot that, the music industry, the entertainment industry as a whole, we could really all move forward in a way that benefits the whole industry, other industries, and everybody can eat.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
When it comes to facilitating the music industry, how important is artist development? Because now you see, I don't want to call an artist's name, but they just make these weird YouTube sounds and music, and then they go from 1 view to 1 million, and all of a sudden they're a star overnight. But they're missing a key factor. How important is artist development, or do you even think it's needed today?
Development is always needed. Constant elevation causes expansion. I write my rhymes while I'm cool in my mansion. That's art. That's Rockin, Eric being Rockin.
Right.
With growth and studying the history and having the foundation and having access to information, education, and knowledge, there's no way around it. So for those that study or inform themselves or align themselves in a situation to have access to opportunity and information, it builds a situation where everybody could benefit. So everybody had a teacher. Somebody taught me, so the greatest thing is to teach. And that comes out of the nation. It's just a blend of culture. So to see an artist go back to the roaring 30s when putting on the Ritz, just to listen to that music, to see who wrote it, who did the production on it, who did the publishing on it. You can go through decades of history gathering information as an artist. Those who choose to educate themselves, the better you can maneuver. So for artist development, let's call it self-development. Self-development. Because self-development, you can go into being an artist.
Yeah.
Because you may be a scientist. You may gravitate to a science before the art. So I find it to be it's foundational. There's no way around it. And those that do take the time out to themselves, it's a key component. So, I'm like the first child rap star.
Right. Absolutely.
The youngest of the first few. It was me, LL, and Will Smith. We're like the 3 youngest that's in the industry, selling records, albums, Billboard charts, music videos. I'm one of those 3.
Exactly.
So, with me, it was I'm barely a teenager. I'm barely a teenager.
Right.
There was a lot of artist development to be had. So the discussion was, hey, what do we do with LeJuan Love?
Right.
You got Disney, but Disney's not dealing with rap. What is rap at the time in '88?
Not in the 80s.
No, not in the 80s.
With the videos.
Then you're on a label with 2 Live Crew.
Right.
Hey, what's going on here? Exactly. It's a lot going on. So when we talk about artist development from a personal perspective, I sat around and I observed, the individuals that was bringing me in, and it was a discussion. Hey, we could take LeJuan out of the game. He did an album. We could take LeJuan out of the game. Let's say we teach him how to sing. Around that time, Tevin Campbell was coming out.
Right.
So I do a couple of sessions of singing lessons in the studio with Michael Sterling. You know, Michael was like, okay, we could teach LeJuan music production, acting, singing, engineering, and still have enough time for him to bring him back in the game. And he's still ahead of the game at what, 15, 16, 17?
Absolutely.
Artist development. So, you know, it's foundational. Once you build your foundation on developing yourself, the sky is the limit, but you can't get around the elements and the basic information and the roads that were already paved by other individuals, you know, in other genres of music.
Right.
For you to study, it's not wrong with knowing, you know, your history. The more you know, the better decisions you can make. The more creative you can be. The purpose of knowledge is to create. I find artist development to be very important. Good luck. Good luck without it.
It is extremely important.
It's important.
It's perpetual, baby.
Perpetual pimping, baby. Next question, please.
Oh my God. Listen, so if a new artist come in and they're looking for, is it a manager, a mentor, or business that has to, because you mentioned Michael Sterling, you mentioned a lot of people already in the industry that serve as, you know, these powerful tools for you to develop. So today, what would a new artist need to look for? Is it a mentor? Is it a business itself in terms of gaining that artist development that they need?
I would suggest, you know, before, remember when I touched on the dark period or that stagnant period? I was in an interview like this, and I rarely do interviews.
Yes, we are excited about it.
I don't do them.
We're honored with your presence.
Well, I'm honored that you even thought about me because, you know, most people like, I thought he was dead.
No, he's here, and that's what I'm saying.
But
he's so here.
Yeah, I'm so here. I'm so ahead of time. How could I ever be late? You know?
How can you be late? You know what I mean?
Yeah, slow down and get in the fold of things already.
Absolutely.
But to answer your question, when you educate yourself on the things that you're interested in, you get in a space where you know what questions to ask.
Right.
And it's knowing, because it's not possible to do it all yourself. You need a team. It definitely requires a team, and everybody has their expertise. So as much as you can educate yourself on your interests according to your skills and your tolerance,
right,
like that, you know, the people, you know who to seek out, or those people would, you know, you put yourself in a position to meet those people. So you want a bit of both. You want to know law, you want to know the rules of the game.
Absolutely.
And life, period. Whatever you do.
Absolutely.
The rules to the game is to know the rules to the game.
The rules to the game is to know the rules to the game. There you have it.
Yeah, and you can take that and you can go create napkins with that. You can design tires. You understand what I'm saying?
Get that on a shirt. Yeah.
The rules of the game is to know the rules of the game.
It's to know the rules of the game. You'll probably see a shirt on me, I'm sure.
And this
I'll give you credit for it, though.
This is why I don't do interviews. Where do you people come from, man?
I'll give you a percentage of it, I'm sure. Or I'll get you a shirt. How about that?
How about both?
Okay. You got it. So I was gonna say, I know that in the 80s, 90s, or whatever, a lot of people were getting record deals, right? And so is that the same today, getting a major record deal the same today, or are a lot of artists going independent, and is there a difference between the two now?
Yeah, there's a difference. There's a difference. It depends on how you position. Because some artists, they can take it as far as they can take it, and then they need to reposition themselves depending on how you're originally positioned. So if you have the team, you have the knowledge, and you have access to the materials and, you know, the finance to, you know, forge your way as far as you can, then you take it as far as you can.
Right.
In some cases, you know, you're presented with an opportunity. Someone will see your movement and they're like, hey, okay, well, this artist here, or this record company here, or this production team here fits a business model that I'm interested in, or a project that I'm interested in.
Right.
And you'll be presented with that opportunity, or you go get that opportunity, or you go create that opportunity.
Right.
So it can go a variety of ways. Again, it's about positioning.
Absolutely. Okay. So you recently was on stage. You've been performing lately.
Yeah.
What has that experience been like for you to be back on stage? I mean, I don't know if you've ever left, because you still perform, and you still have been performing, correct?
Yeah, still perform. Here we go again. Let's run it again. You know, it's this last thing that we did. It was the 25th anniversary of Trick Daddy and Friends, right? Yeah. And it was the whole thing all over again. Like, it was like a family reunion.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
It was busy, you know, different vibes, but everybody on the same vibe. It was a big family reunion. No pressure, no stress, no tension. It just flowed. As busy as it was, it flowed. And it created a space for, you know, Miami.
Yeah.
All of the artists, you know, the majority of the artists, because there was a few artists, you know, that was not there, but, you know, you have that. It's been a lot of stages or platforms that, you know, I could have been on, but I was, you know, somewhere doing something else, you know, the scheduling. But nevertheless, you know, to be back, to perform in Miami with all of my comrades, you know, some dudes that inspired me, some dudes I inspire, you know, other artists come to me, you know, they're platinum, multi-platinum, they got 10 albums under their belt or better, and it's nothing to say, hey, LeJuan, you inspired me, what everybody said. Yeah, you know, it's good to see, you know, Trick Daddy, Rick Ross, Pitbull, Trina. It's good to see those artists.
Clan, JT Money.
It can go on and on. Lost Tribe, Trick Daddy, Black. Well, I said Trick already. Black Hayes.
Right.
The Hardaway.
Exactly.
Piccolo.
There you go.
Geisha, Jackie O.
There you go.
I can go on and on. Like,
I have to hear this. Right.
JDC, Restless. Even
that was my
Gigolo, Tony, Jam, Pony, even some of the DJs, like the roster, the bench goes so deep. We are the deep bench when it comes to the music industry, and to see everybody like, hey, get on stage, run a thing.
Right.
Even, you know, even with Greasy and, you know, all these guys that's you know, on the forefront right now.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man, because when I came through, I didn't have what they had. I didn't have the camaraderie. I was around adults. You know what I'm saying? So to see everybody, you know, gray hair, you know, we got bills paid, taxes due, things like that. You know, it was a truly a wonderful experience. And to see those brothers put that together and to pull it off. The discussion has been, hey, let's run another one. Y'all want to hit Jacksonville? Y'all want to hit Georgia? Where you want to go? We can go up and down the Eastern Seaboard. We can go to Texas. We can go anywhere with that because we're international artists.
Exactly.
And inside of Miami. So it was a great experience, man. I'm grateful. All praise to the Most High. I'm grateful.
Hey,
you can't make it up.
We'll be monitoring and following because those are some heavy hitters, always have been. Miami has its own vibe, and I'm just excited to see that we're on the map, you know, particularly with so many different platforms. You got Love and Hip Hop Miami. You have so many different things, you know, representing our state and our city because it's a whole culture in itself. And
But
so I'm just beyond excited about what is to come for, the look of Miami. It's about time, don't you think?
well, no, it's been like that for a very long time. You got to understand, like Miami didn't just die in the past 30 years.
Right.
Like my mom and my parents and my grandparents are from Miami. Well, my grandparents moved to Miami, but everybody's from Miami. Like Miami's been running like that since the 30s.
Wow.
Since the 30s, the 40s, and the 50s. Miami has it's artists that we don't even talk about. So what's important also is that this goes back to artist development. What's important is to acknowledge the history and the foundation and those that paved the way to keep the legacy alive. So for most people, Miami's a playground. When you go up north, you hit Pennsylvania, you hit Jersey, New York. Those were industrial areas where people make money. You come to Miami, you retire.
Right.
And you got, DC is the politics, New York is the financial center, Hollywood makes the movies. Miami, that's where you spend your money.
Yeah.
And you get money too. Miami been getting money since Ponce de Leon. Since LeJuan been getting money. That's how long Miami been getting money. But it's nothing new. What took place was the shock in the industry when Luke came along. But you got to understand, like Betty Wright was making music when she was 12, 11, 14?
There you go.
And then before her, where everybody come to play? Sammy Davis Jr., Muhammad Ali, just all the artists have always gravitated towards Miami.
Absolutely.
Because you got everything in Miami.
Everything.
So the industry has recently been acknowledged because of how the information flows. It flows faster. But when dudes saw, when I won't just say dudes, but when people saw through, Luke, because he made an impression on people's brain and lives and children with the party.
That's what they thought Miami was about.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. So to see where it is now and to see how the business is handled and to see the playground actually turn into a business over the past, I guess, 20, 30 years. Right. That's good for a lot of other industries.
Yes, absolutely. It's a whole. I didn't even think about Betty Wright. I didn't even think about that until you said it.
If it wasn't for Betty Wright, it wouldn't be no Luke. It wouldn't be no LeJuan Love. Somebody had to pass the knowledge down. Not her mainly, but again, they had their teams. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just one individual. It was a network of people, a system that passed it on. So, I'm the run of the bunch right now. Well, now you got a couple of dudes now that's a little younger than me that's doing their thing. But at that time, I'm around adults. I didn't have what they had. I didn't have homeboys to go on the road. Eventually, I had to take some of my friends on the road with me, whether they were dancers, DJs, or whatever. I was around adults. And when I go somewhere, there's no other teenager to relate with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So where we are now, you have camaraderie, you have that village, you have that community, and for the community to take their resources and network together, that's the direction that we all should move in. And these 25 years of this 25th anniversary, to see Love and Hip Hop there, to see Trina, to see Young and the Restless.
Right.
Just everybody. I can go on. You heard the word on the streets, man.
I already know what the word is.
I praise those dudes, man, for and I'm grateful and peace and blessings to them for putting that together. And that's just scratching the surface. I just screwed up. That was none of my input. I got things I can contribute besides performing.
Of course.
So we could facilitate a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the history of South Florida, because you had Afro-Rican. It's not just Miami. You had dudes, out of Broward, Palm Beach. You had dudes out of Key West. Yeah. When you think of South Florida, we all say Miami, but a lot of people contributed to who we are. And, Betty Wright got pictures with Bob Marley. Like, who has pictures with Bob Marley? Just hanging out. Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, like this is what they do.
That's
So
it.
doing that today, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of how you facilitate those relationships.
Absolutely. I am so proud of you. I always have been. And your level of creativity is remarkable. Is that your phone ringing?
Yeah.
Busy. Let them know that you are on It's Not Hard to Talk About. And
It ain't hard to tell them that either, but I ain't saying nothing. You can't listen. You saying this, you know, I don't say nothing to nobody about nothing. Good luck.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It ain't my job to teach you, but you know, I can show you better than I can tell you.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. Listen, I'm trying to move on to my next question, which is, no, your creativity is what we was on, okay?
Okay.
You are very creative, LeJuan, in so many different facets. Oh my God! And poetry happens to be one of them too, as well. What inspires you to write? Because I know you have 28 days of poetry that you're doing now, and you're posting that on social media. But your poetry goes way back, you know. And so, that first question really is: what inspires you to write poetry?
I learned how to read real early. You know, I was reading when I was like 3. You know, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was the Bernstein Bear. So for Mother's Day, I was like, "Hey, Mama Bear." So happy Mother's Day. And she like, "Hey, baby bear." You know, so you know,
what's up, y'all?
Yeah. So it's just one of those things where I was reading and writing at an early age, and you know, you found a way to express yourself, and you know, life was really rough coming up. You know, it wasn't a pretty picture, and so my way out was to you know, I wrote a couple of essays in, you know, elementary school, and you know, won a few essay contests, and you know, I just wrote my way out, thought my way out, and I got into poetry from just writing various things, and with poetry, you can say things that you can't necessarily, well, not that you can't, because there's nothing you can't do.
Absolutely.
But you can take poetry and express something in a different way than you can in a conversation.
Yeah.
You can express it a different way than you can in, how you say, an argument or a song or whatever. You can express different things. So it's really nothing you can limit yourself on. So when it comes down to poetry, you can go in and out, break all the rules, and it's all legal.
Absolutely.
You can say what you want to say and get away with it. So with poetry, you know, you can put it to a beat. You got a rap song, or you know, you slow it down and put some melody behind it. You got a, what do you call it? A song. It's some blues or whatever. So poetry is just an avenue of approach. You know, it's just one of those outlets. So you know, I do 28 days of poetry. I could easily put a barcode on it, you know what I'm saying? Package it up and sell it.
Absolutely.
I can take what I wrote and resell it, and you know, but it's a contribution to society and to inspire other artists. Like, you know, we go chasing $1. It's always somebody that got $1. You know, I got $1. It's somebody that got $2. It's always somebody, you know. So with poetry, you could be you could be faster, slower, you could be smarter. So poetry is my I can do it with my poetry. And
I think you should give us a little bit of that if you would like to entertain the audience. When we're welcome. We're listening. What you want to say?
I ain't saying nothing. Silence is gold and duct tape is silver. I don't know.
I guess we'll have to tune in to the next social media.
I may share something.
You're on the 9th day.
Say again?
Are you on the 9th day? Because you got 28 days of poetry.
Yes. So when you ask me about that, I get on whatever day I want to get on, right? Because I'm already giving it for free. Like, hey, man, I don't work for y'all.
I just thought since this is an exclusive, we would be privy to number 10. That's all I'm saying. You can, it's not hard to talk about it, So I just kind of figured, we would get the exclusive to number 10. That's all.
Okay, so I'll tell you what. Here's what really happened. I write poetry at my leisure, and this year there was a lot going on with some of my other businesses, so I couldn't give it the attention that I wanted to. And when I write, I just log on and I write it. I just, it's not that I pre-write it or if I'm when I'm doing 28 days of poetry, whatever's written, I just created that within the past 20 minutes.
Yeah,
So
I know.
you got typos and things like that, and
There.
yeah, it's just a contribution to a post. So even though I went to I think 9 this year, I still continue writing because it's a writing exercise too.
Yeah.
But I just didn't post it all. There were some other things I thought that was more important than the poetry at the time. But I don't have a problem with it. We can get to the 28. They don't have to all be in 1 month. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Take your time on it. I'm enjoying every bit of it. I just thought that we would be able to get number 10 here exclusively. I'll say that again and just, throw that out there.
We'll see how that goes. We may be able to pull that off.
All right. I'm holding to it. So listen, there's a major event that's coming up. Speaking of poetry, I remember seeing you on stage in Miami. Will the Real One? There was what was the name of your team again? What was the name of you all? Wasn't it a team?
I wasn't on a team. There were some other teams and a network of poets, but I just came in to contribute to the culture. Those poets. I wasn't necessarily in the loop of things completely.
Okay. Now, do you know Will the Real One? And how did you meet him?
I met Will on the poetry scene, and I talked with him and a few other artists about some of the things some of the opportunities that I saw that could happen in the poetry industry. And it's a delicate audience. It's a delicate market.
Yeah.
And with Def Poetry Jam, that really sparked a lot of poets to, bring their art mainstream and take it to the next level.
Absolutely.
But the thing with I find with poets over, R&B singers, instrumentalists, musicians, and rappers, they're reserved in their approach to the business of it.
Absolutely.
But those that are aggressive in their business approach to the poet art, they experience different things. But overall, for the market overall and the poetry industry, it's a different vibe. It's a different method of, it's not more so like business and getting that dollar. It's about expressing, yourself and the community. And most people are hesitant to deal with poets because some of the issues are political and some of the issues are, cultural and very personal.
Absolutely.
And, it touches on some things that can be sensitive to a financial market.
Absolutely.
But Will the Real One inspired a lot of people. He inspired me, and it was just an honor to meet the dude and be a part of his situation along with the stuff. Shouts out to Ingrid B and Red Riding Hood. Shouts out to Asia and Deidre Blue.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hi, Asia.
Yeah, so all those my folks, man, and Red Riding Hood shows me a lot of love, and support, on and off stage, Ingrid B. What she's doing.
Patterson.
Oh, Sunny. Yes, Sunny. And Butterfly.
Oh, Rebecca Butterfly.
Yeah, Rebecca Butterfly. What's going on, B? Rebecca. So it's a couple of artists that make up that whole circuit and scene, and Will was that pilot light, set it. You know what I'm saying? So peace and blessings to him and his family. and his contributions to Miami and the poetry.
Absolutely. Rest in peace, Will. He actually gave me my first job as a host. I used to at the Literary Cafe.
Okay, I remember that.
125th Street. Have you ever been to that one?
Yeah, I've been in there a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah, he had me host the gospel open mic. Can you believe that?
Okay.
And I was like, I'm trying to host, and then trying to compare myself to him. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. But it turned out well, and I learned a lot from him, 100%. So we honor you in this moment, Will. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
So there is an event that's happening called the Kings of Poetry in Miami on June 4th. And it looks like it's anonymous. So I don't know if you're able to share this information. Will you be one of the poets on stage?
I can't say no because anything could happen.
Okay.
I don't. Excuse me. I'm snacking. I apologize.
Do you?
I'm so at home right now, man. I work.
Your food. We on your time. We on your schedule. Do your thing.
That's cool, man. But I know very little about it as far as who's going to be on it, and I'm not in the loop on that. But I may show up to support it. If I'm invited to come on stage and do something to contribute, I'm open for that. But sometimes just to have, that support, that face in the place, or to purchase a ticket, a T-shirt, a CD, or, meet another artist and share some ideas on how to market and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I move. That's my way. So
absolutely,
I'm excited about it because we can use that too.
Yeah, absolutely. And we would definitely want to hear, you on stage for sure.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So Black Pearl Digital Coin, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I know that that's something that I've seen on your social media page. Is that something you want to talk a little bit about?
I'll touch on it. It's, we're in an era where we're dealing with blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, and it's a lot of opportunities, and it's the latest technology. So a couple of years ago, I got into it maybe like 2015, 2016. I really got serious about it, 2017. So with that, I'm using that to do a couple of things with the latest technology because, before, we had typewriters and we went to keyboards, now we can do this. We're doing a Zoom. We're in two different places in real time. This is the future, we've seen everything from rotary phones to where we are right now.
Right.
Yeah. Remote controls and microwaves, we grew up the best time and we've seen all the technology. So
oh my God.
And if I could find me a beeper, I'm a Rockin one. Right. If anyone want to give me that Motorola with that little yellow button on it, the clip, the spring tight. Thank you, I'm grateful. I'll take that.
Yeah.
So the blockchain technology, the
telephone,
the brick.
The telephone man.
The brick.
The phone.
Yeah, we call it the brick, the Motorola brick, the flip, So this technology with Black Pearl digital coin, I saw it as an opportunity to take and create wealth for my network and for the industries that I have an interest in. And so it's something that I'm working on. It's a very delicate industry. It's not like you can just jump out in that water and swim. It's rules and regulations and a certain approach to it, even though we refer to it as decentralized. The decentralized market when it comes to finance. So that's something that I'm working on, and I'm structuring it to provide services for the music industry, the real estate industry, and one or two other industries that I have an interest in. So yeah, I'm really excited about it, and it's done well. Even that you don't hear about it on mainstream, which is kind of good because I'm grateful. I'm happy about it. I can't complain. All praise to the Most High.
Liz,
I'm the Most High.
Enough said on that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's on the horizon, man. That's on the table, not on the horizon. That's going down. So a little bit chop wood, carry water.
Yeah, there you go. So what inspired All Things Mathematics, the book?
So I just thought, math was one of my weakest points because I was a writer, so I wasn't really into the math.
Mm-hmm.
But, besides counting your chips,
right?
I wasn't trying to erect any buildings or build any bridges and calculate the speed of the sun connected to the earth, the speed of thought, the speed of sound, which is 1,020 feet per second. I just wasn't. I became a parent. My son comes along. Hey, I need to get dude ready for what he got to do.
That part.
So I just got into math, and I'm no mathematician, by profession. I am the living mathematics, or a form of living mathematics. But just a matter out of exposing my son to math as early as possible, so it could be a strength of his. That's what really inspired me. And you don't see a lot of that representation with math, because with math you can go anywhere. With math and music, it's a universal language. Everybody understands math. Everybody gets music. If it sounds good, they're dancing to it. You don't even have to understand the words. The beat just sound good. The flow, go with the beat. Yeah. So next, where the money at? Let's do the math.
Exactly.
It's a universal language. I just thought I would create a platform and provide that to a market or some people very early. The hiccup in it was I was looking to print a book, and kids are really on their tablets. So the goal right now is to digitize it.
Okay, good. So speaking of all of that, this is a trifold question, okay? So what do you have coming up? That's number one. How can the people reach you for bookings and or performances? And we'll start there before I ask the other question. So let's start with those two. Okay,
so I'm putting together I have some fragrances. So I'm going to take the poetry, and it comes with the fragrance. So if I'm going to print it up or give you guys a digital version, or whether I do it a digital version with me reciting it. So that's coming up. And then, I'm interested in real estate. So I'm looking to purchase real estate in various areas throughout the U.S. to facilitate the entertainment industry. We need somewhere to meet. We need somewhere to perform. We need somewhere to take a class. You want to be a dancer, ballet. You want to learn how to play the cello, the upright bass. Or you want some of that Miami bass. Some of that. You want to be an artist. You want to be, a musical engineer. You want to be an attorney. I want to buy real estate to facilitate those spaces for that form of education. So that's what we're working
on. Okay. Well, there you go. The second part of that question is, how can people reach out to you? Because you have a wealth of information. I've had the wonderful opportunity to talk to you about so many different things, so many ideas. So how can people reach you? Is there a fee for it?
Well, I deal with systems more so than I deal with people, the general public. I haven't been a social butterfly here lately. I'm honest with myself.
What was I thinking?
I don't know what you were thinking. You tell you what I was thinking, though. I don't know how you're going to reach me. I'm busy.
It could be anywhere.
I could be anywhere, man. I could be anywhere. My family be like, is LeJuan coming? Man, I might parachute in. I might come in on a skateboard. I might pull up in a Rolls Royce. A motorcycle. If I say I'm coming, I'm on my head.
That part right there.
Yeah, but as far as oh
my God.
You can't make it up.
I said, listen, I can't make this up, y'all. You got the exclusive. You see it.
Yeah, you can't make it up. But I mainly deal with systems and private corporations, private individuals, and it's just the nature of my business. To deal with the general public, I'm not necessarily in artist mode to be as far as the business side of it, like the creativity part. I'm not in that lane yet. I have plenty of product, and as far as like recordings, writings, and products and services, I have a lot of that. But right now I'm building the systems and the teams and getting the people necessary in place. So to reach me right now, if it's not systematic, I really don't have a general product that's going to be available immediately other than the fragrance with the poetry. Other than that, I'm buying real estate. I'm structuring deals and organizations to facilitate those things, because a lot of those things are out of place, or aligning myself with individuals that are already in place, because there's some artists that have those things in place already. They have the network, they have the net worth and the network, so I'm just getting in my lane where I fit in to contribute to the entertainment industry without disruption. I don't want disruption, without the riffraff and creating enemies for free and things like
that part.
Yeah, I just want to add value to, I've been blessed, so I want to pass it on, and that's what I'm doing. So it's not necessarily something that I deal with a variety of individuals on. But when that changes, I'll make myself available. So other than that, it's systems and situations,
Good luck with that, everybody.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Email address or something like that. Hit me up on Facebook. I'm on Facebook. I check in every now and then. I'll check my messages. I respond to a post. I'm available. The answer is no, but we'll figure it out.
The answer is no. Oh my God.
Yeah. But
are you familiar with NFTs, and is that something that you would be involved in the near future as far as your products and things of that sort?
I find NFTs to be very interesting. I mean, people are making money, but money is anything of value. So, your form of money, it could be, liquid cash or capital assets. Absolutely. It could be digital real estate. So we all make money.
Yeah.
With NFTs, I'm careful about it because of how it's structured. But other than that, I love the idea. It's a great opportunity. I just think of when I go into a situation, I think of not just getting a season opportunity, but how I'm going to manage that opportunity and what's my exit strategy, how I'm going to get out. And a lot of times, if I go in, I'm coming out. That's my philosophy. So with NFTs, I don't see my way out. I don't know how to make up. I don't know how to fit that into my format, my fold of things. But a portion of that is part of blockchain technology and cryptocurrency. So it makes sense to me. That aspect of it seems to be very lucrative. I haven't invested into it yet. I've created, some things to place in that form. But right now I'm just still studying and doing some observations. And when I can figure out my exit strategy and how I'm making that move, how that's going to affect some other things, if it pans out to be, if it works within my algorithm, I'll do it.
Absolutely.
Now it's a great opportunity. I think it's great technology.
There you go. LeJuan Love, everybody. It's been a pleasure having you on, and I am more than honored that you stopped by, and, spoke with us for an hour or so,
Thanks for having me.
I'm grateful. I really, truly am. Thank you so much.
Same here, man. I appreciate it. This was rough.
This is real?
Yeah, it was rough.
Yes, it was rough this moment.
Yeah, this interview here was, I was good.
Why was it rough? I tried to make it easy.
I feel like you was twisting my arm. Like, I want to say, I
was. You felt that.
I can feel the pressure.
That definitely was the pressure because I needed you to come through.
Yeah, but all in all, again, I appreciate you creating the platform. I appreciate the opportunity. And at this point, whatever I can do to contribute to the blessings that have blessed me, I'm open for it. I just got to do it through systems for right now. Does that work?
Listen, it works for me.
Work with me. Like
I'm in. After going through your system of 2-3 years, I'm in. So I ain't got nothing to complain about.
My no means like not right now, My no is.
Guys, what that really means, guys, is about a 2-3 year wait.
No, it's not.
No, I was just kidding. I'm just kidding. But he's available, and I appreciate that. I really do.
Hey, you can reach me if y'all want to reach me. Talk to my people. Have your people talk to my people.
Right. He's on Facebook, everybody. LeJuan Biggers is on Facebook.
I'm
reach out to him, message him. Don't overwhelm him. But
no, I'm available. I'm open. I'm not on every day like that. I'll check in to make sure we still all on the same page. See what page we're on if we're not on the same page. So we can flip some pages on the book.
Well, I'm just going to remind you of one extra thing before we get ready to go. You said that you were thinking about the 10 of 28 days of poetry, and I just kind of felt like this might be the moment to share number 10.
Oh, okay. One of the things I've been dealing with is whether I do something erotic, because most of my fan base, they want to hear something erotic. I go to certain poetry spots and they be like, "Hey, do banana pudding, do that one." Like, how am I explaining this to my grandkids? That's how y'all got here.
Give us the clean version, so your grandchildren, won't ask too many questions.
No, we'll figure something out. Pick a topic. Give me something.
It's not hard to talk about. This moment.
All right. So it's not really that hard to talk about this moment. I can hang out with you like an exponent, but I'm already there doing the math. I'm already on it. It ain't hard to talk about it. I walk up in it and walk about it. And that's all, folks.
LeJuan, oh my God, well, that's number 10, y'all. There you have it.
28 days of poetry is going to take us, we got all year. You feel me?
We got all year to do this, y'all.
Yeah, slow grind is a good grind. Again, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. And we'll figure out what we can do next. And however I can contribute to your situation or your network, you just let me know. And we'll make it happen. So we got some things coming up. We got Miami Day in the A. That's coming up.
Okay.
So y'all go ahead and get ready for that. And we're going to see about some other things that we can get ready for the year.
Miami Day in the A. That's Atlanta. And is there a date on that?
Ooh, woo. There is a date. I can't remember the date right now.
Well, we'll get that. You can always pop on live tomorrow.
You can always post it
tomorrow to introduce this whole coming out, and you're more than welcome to pop up, even if it's just to introduce, this pre-recorded. You're welcome.
Okay, so What else? I'm off. I'm done. I'm finished working.
I love everybody. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening to our episode. We are so grateful. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. It's not hard to talk about it on our YouTube page. Thank you so much, LeJuan. Thank you, everybody. God bless.
You're welcome. That wasn't so hard.
It wasn't. Right?
It wasn't.
I didn't do too bad.
No, you inspire me. Thank you.